Oh, hi. Hey, welcome. Let's see what I can do with this old drawer. It came out of a piece that I refinished, and I transformed it into another kind of piece. And this was left over. I'm just taking a piece of thin plywood. It's like 1/4 inch. I just want to see if I can fit 2 shelves out of that one little piece to fit inside the drawer. And I am washing it with vinegar and water and soap. So I'm going to measure this the best that I can. I'm not the greatest carpenter, but I'm going to try. And this drawer has different measurements from side to side and in the depth. So it's a little challenging, but I'm just going to mark off that little plywood, make some lines, and use a little bit of a jig, and I will show you in a moment. Here's how I manage my glue. I actually keep a plastic wrap on top of it underneath the cover, and that helps it stay moist. Also, I cut the tip off the end of the little thing on the end, the part that you pull up, and I put in a wall, like a wall dowel with a screw in it, and just enough to keep it nice and tight, and that helps me keep it very pliable. I just have to take it apart each time, but it's better than throwing away a whole bottle of glue. Pretty good. So here is where I just put a little board and use it as a jig to make my lines straight. It's very helpful. It's a little extra step, but it's so worth it. And once you get used to the fact that, okay, I'm going to do this every time I cut, it's not really that big of a deal. Okay. Bend and snap. Bend and snap. Bend and snap. Bend and snap. I'm going to get rid of this White hardware and add some little shelf buttons. I have a little box of all different sizes. So this is loose on the underside too, so I'm going to put a little glue in there. And I just filled a large syringe. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it in there. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. I really want to get it underneath this type of veneer. It's not really veneer. I mean, it's a veneer, but it's a thick piece of veneer. Hold on. There we go. I have to tilt it so the glue will go toward gravity. There we go. Let's try it on this side. Never, ever, ever, ever give up. Okay. Now let me just squirt a bunch more in here. Right? May as well. I will wash this out briefly so I can use it again. I put one more in the center. Let's see if it's holding. It's not the best, but it's probably the best I can do. You see how this drawer is somewhat warped? You can see the curve. I'm just going to fill that with a little bit of putty. So I mixed up some wood filler, which is wood Filla, and I can mix up some more if I want to. And yeah, I'm gonna start right here on the side. Hey. Hi, neighbor. I'll make that neater afterwards. I'm going to fill this side as well. Like I said, I will make that neater in a bit. Let's make sure that I have enough here. And then, so I want to fill these holes where the hardware was. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a couple of dowels. I don't have the right size. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it with some wood putty. And I will fit the dowels in there. But let's stuff it as much as we can. on the roads here, which is interesting. So they have the main roads blocked and they end up sending them up the mountain, which is, yeah, a bit of a thing. I do have some traffic, but mainly it's residents, you know, who live on the mountain. I have a little better tool to do this with. This small putty knife. Sand that down afterwards. So when it dries, I will take my saw and I'll cut them off. And you can see how they pushed out the putty right here. So let's push them back in. That's funny, isn't it? I do not like the wind up here for a couple of reasons. First reason is it always blows leaves from the mountain towards my barn. And second reason is there's a lot of deadwood there. And I fear, you know, when the trees fall, because they do fall, I don't want to be up here. Yeah, I had to leave the barn because it's too windy up there. And I wasn't going to take the chance of having something fall on me on the roof up there. Yeah, no way. So we've had plenty of time to dry. It was actually gone for a couple of days because it was windy up here. So this was where I put the dowels in with some putty. And now I'm going to sand this off. And I'm also going to cut those dowels off. And just hope, you know, that they're mostly level. Just to make it a neat surface to paint on. So this is 150 grit sandpaper. And I just want to take down the, you know, the most obvious. Let's cut those first. This is a pull saw. Okay. And I'm going to need a sander to take those down. I'm not going to do that by hand. And I'll spray it with some shellac. That is until the bees come at me. Bees and shellac. All right, that's pretty good. That looks pretty good. And that looks pretty good. Now I had to do that because I'm going to put shelves in and I want the shelves to be level. And I'll drill the holes. And yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it. So it looks pretty good. And I'll show you, I put these little twisty things just to make sure that I was okay on that. So, all right, okay. Finally, time to prime it. And I'm using a Zinsser Shields. It's a mold and mildew shield, but that's not why I'm using it. It's just a good primer. And don't be mad at me because I'm going to go right over the little shelf buttons because I'm afraid if I remove them, I won't be able to get them back in. So yeah, and this is a little bit thick over the years, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a spray. It's a water-based primer. Mm-hmm. And it has the shellac, so hopefully that will be a good covering. Let's see. So hopefully my paint, which is really pretty, it's called Blue Bohemian Rhapsody. And this is the color. Isn't that pretty? Like a blueberry, very pale blueberry. So yeah, there's that. I'll do all of that off camera because I explained what I'm going to do. I will also do a little bit of caulking around the edges, but I want to get it primed first. So I want to ensure that my paint is going to go on nicely without any problems from underneath. And once I'm sure of that, then I will start doing the rest of the finish work. And I wrapped up my paintbrush. And you can even see, I don't know if you can actually see this, but if you can tell, I can see it from here. It just looks a little pink. So it's bleeding right through to the paint. So it's going to take several hours to dry. So I'm going to wait for that to dry and I will catch up with you after all the next shellacking and second coat of primer is all done. I did 2 coats plus little touch-ups of this chalk paint. Now with this drawer, this is the first coat of paint, and the shiny corners are a little bit of silicone caulking, and I also caulked around some holes that I found. So tomorrow I'll have to let that dry overnight. Tomorrow morning I'll come back in and we will do another coat of the chalk paint. Let's make our homemade honey mustard dressing. This honey that I'm using is from a local farmer, and it has cinnamon in it, and it's a honey gel or something like that. So it's thicker than usual honey, and I want to get every last bit of it. The last bit I'll use out of that jar is to make a cup of tea in it because I don't waste any honey. It's not a lot, it's just that it's at the bottom, so I have to scrape it out. I'm not sure, but I'm going to use a little bit of mayonnaise. And this is just a store brand brown mustard. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in it too. Let's put some red and green peppers in. Mmm, looks good. Okay, so this has been painted twice. I did take the clear caulking and I went around all the open edges that I could find. It's not perfect, but it's better. And I just touched up this bottom shelf right here. I also have the two shelves, these small pieces of plywood that aren't painted, and they're ready to go. The little shelf buttons are in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate the inside and probably the outside with these magnolia transfers. These are they're not a small transfer, I guess, but they're just a medium, redesigned with Prima, and they're very pretty. So yeah, let's put those on. This is the layout, and you can see 3 sheets with various sizes of, is it gardenias? I'm going to cut these into smaller pieces and arrange them. So for instance, I think I'll do, something like the large flower on one corner and then the branch on the other, and fill it in with little small bits and pieces. Also have to take into consideration the shelves. I'm not going to force that in there. This got a little tighter, but I'm going to trick it with a little bit of wax and it will fit in there just fine. But what I want to see is, will that be an adequate look? So yeah, I might want to bring that up further, see how I'd want to do that. And then if I used a single flower, you have to, I don't necessarily like things that are completely ordered, and I like to have it somewhat organic. And I'm going to twist it just a little bit. This is untreated chalk paint, but this is the way that I do it. Some people put a clear coat on first. This is a redesign with Prima Transfer. I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but I've had good luck with redesign with Prima transfers, putting them on an untreated chalk painted surface. What I do like to do though is kind of go around kind of deeply right around these edges, because that helps decrease that halo look that you can sometimes see afterwards. So I get a little bit aggressive around the edges. Thank you for coming along to my house this week. This is the DIY and Decor channel from Owling Dog. And this week we made over a drawer, an old drawer that came out of another piece. I removed the hardware, but kept it. That's the Hepplewhite hardware. And this mahogany piece, we repaired it. We did a lot of gluing and clamping and cut a couple of simple shelves for it and chose a really nice chalk paint color. Um, I'm going to put the name of it right here, but to me it looks like a cornflower blue, or it could be periwinkle. Let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, I think it came out really cute. I had to reshape the shelves a couple of times because I'm not an awesome carpenter, but they fit. And I put a few little knickknacks on there just to show what it could be used with. Oh, I ordered more hooks for the back, the little U hooks or picture picture hooks because I cannot find the ones that I had. So I had a package of them, but I can't find them. So I had to order another package. I'm just waiting for those to come, and they should come today. Should I keep it? Should I put it in my booth? What do you think I should do with it? I think it's really cute, and I'm tempted to keep it. And so, yeah, we'll see. What did you think of the honey mustard dressing? Do you think you'll try and make that? I think the I think the trick to that is choosing a really good light olive oil and a really tangy brown mustard. And of course, there's the honey. Now, it's going to mix up easier if you use a regular, almost like a table honey that pours out of a container. This one is a creamed honey. It's really nice. I get it locally and I love it. It's a little more difficult to mix it up, but it's worth the wait. And yeah, it's beautiful on a salad. So thank you again for coming over. I hope you'll come back next week and see what we're doing at DIY and Decor. Have a great week. Bye. Bye. Come back soon. Take care.